Hello guys, it's Tech Temple here with a video today. Today we're doing the best graphics cards of 2016. These cards range from low-end, inexpensive cards to high-end beasts like the GeForce GTX 980 Ti. Cards like that. To start, we have the best ultra-budget gaming graphics card, and that is the GeForce GTX 750 Ti. This graphics card is a very small form factor. It can play medium gaming at 1080p. Obviously, it's not guaranteed to get over 60 FPS on your demanding games like Crysis 3 and games like that. Newer titles may be a little bit choppier, less frames per second. But another pro about this, especially with the SC versions. Now, not all versions have this, but I know the SC does and a few other versions. Do not have a, do not require a 6-pin power connector. They run their power entirely through the PCI Express in the motherboard, which this is great for those of you who are just trying to get your old PC, maybe an old, desktop PC for your business or things like that, and slap a graphics card in it and game with it. And I think this is a great card for that, as you don't have to get a new power supply or in order to hook it up, because some models don't even require a 6-pin connection. So I think this is a very great card for money, and it runs about $130. Next up, we have just the best budget graphics card, and that is the Radeon R9 380. This is affordable gaming at a pretty reasonable price of $180. It handles 1080p games at high settings, or to very high settings, and it's not too power hungry. And this card packs 4 gigabytes of VRAM, and it's just a very well performer for the money. Next, we have the GeForce GTX 970, which is voted the best graphics card of 2016. This card runs around $300 on Amazon, and you can look at the specs on Newegg. This card rivals its bigger brother, the GTX 980's performance when overclocked, which is pretty good for you overclocking fans and enthusiasts out there who like to do so. Get the most out of your card. This card is also incredibly quiet and cool, and it's very power efficient compared to other cards in this performance range. Another pro for this card is it's a very popular card, so NVIDIA updates its drivers very frequently, which is good for if there's ever issues with games, they're usually solved pretty quickly. And there's not any negatives of this card. I mean, besides size, and that's not a big deal if you have a full tower or even a mid tower, like me. So yeah, this is the best graphics card of 2016. Next, we have the Radeon R9 390 by AMD, and this is probably the best AMD graphics card. This card runs around $320, $330. You can get this on Amazon or Newegg. This card is relative in performance to the GTX 970, although one of its pros over the 970 is its excessive amount of memory, which actually comes in handy for a lot of different multitasking things. It has 8 gigabytes of VRAM, which it's a little excessive, but it's always good to have more than not enough. It runs quiet in most systems. If you have a small system with poor airflow, that's obviously not going to be the case, as it's going to be trying to work hard to keep itself cool. And it's got low idle power, although it is a little power hungry when it's under load, but not at idle. The thing that makes this a little bit less ideal than the GTX 970 is there's not as much overclocking of room there, as it's pretty much it's performing the most as it can out of the box, whereas the 970 you can overclock quite a bit, and it requires a little bit more space than your average card. It's a little bit larger, and it does not have HDMI 2.0, only the older HDMI. I would recommend this to your gamer who wants a great 1080p and even QHD, 2K gameplay or gaming, because it's very good at that. Although it is, yeah, as I said earlier, it's a little power hungry and runs a little bit hotter than the 970. But this is a beastly card, and they do make a 390X version, which is even more powerful and has a little bit higher. Now I know you guys saw this coming from a mile away, but the best high-end graphics card for 4K gaming is the GeForce GTX 980 Ti or its older brother, the Titan X. But I would have to recommend the 980 Ti. This 980 Ti runs about $600, which is about half the price of the Titan X. And there's a very small difference in performance between these two cards. But the 980 Ti has a whopping 6 gigs of VRAM, which is great for 4K gaming, 2K gaming, and even your 1080p gaming. And this can deliver 4K at 60 FPS in a lot of games, and it's pretty much guaranteed to get 60 FPS in 1080p and 2K gaming on pretty much any game out there, including Crysis 3. Another pro to this card is it's much cheaper than the Titan X. As I said earlier, it's about half the price than its older brother. Some of the downsides of this card is, well, the price. It's pretty expensive. Another thing is 4K gaming is impractical, and it's demanding and expensive. And to get 60 FPS in 4K in ultra settings, you're still going to need 2 of these cards in SLI to guarantee that. But, as I said earlier, this can pretty much run any game smoothly and playably in 4K. And it's, the best graphics card you can get for 4K besides the Titan X or, your other water-cooled cards. But this is a beast, and I recommend this to anyone who will be playing games in 4K or even 1080p for that matter.